Hi, this is Allie Eliason, and this is EDL 856 Mod 5, and I will be telling you a little bit about my school, Schilling Elementary in Salina, Kansas. It's USD 305 right now, and I've been here for about 6 years. My first year was as a Title I math teacher for at-risk students, and I have been in first grade for 5 years now. Our school is a Title I building, like I said before. We're very family oriented and we try really hard to build a school family. A lot of our kids are on free and reduced lunch. We're at about 82% right now, I believe. And we do have a lot of movement in and out of our school by students and staff because of jobs, location, environment, just different economic challenges. We do have a lot of jobs like Schwann's and Tony's Pizza and Exide and machine shops and things nearby that a lot of our families work at. I know a lot of those jobs kind of come and go or are temporary jobs. So that causes a lot of movement, and so our kids need a lot of consistency and love when they do come within our building. So one of our big things we're working on right now are social emotional issues within the building. We have had more physical aggression this year and some things like that. So we're trying to bring families in, give them a chance to be together in a positive environment, reinforce academic success together, and maybe just give them some tools that they don't already have sometimes, or just try to find time that they can set aside to work with each other. I know social class structure plays a big role in our school. Like I said, we have a lot of working class families. A lot of them work night times, or they might work different swing shifts, things like that, or they might be gone for long periods. Both mom and dad work, and they're with different family members. So we do try to kind of be their family while they're with us as much as possible. So the educational level, within our school, most of our teachers have bachelor's and master's. I don't believe we have any international board certified right now. We are getting in a lot of new college graduates within our school. Like I said, we have a lot of movement with it being Title I, especially over the last few years while I've been there. We have seen a lot of challenges with behaviors, so we've seen a little bit more turnover than I think we would like, or that they've seen in the past, which is something that's been new. Within my building, we have special ed pre-K, and then we have 4 classrooms of kindergarten through 5th grade, so about 420 students within our building. The language is primarily English, but we do have Spanish speakers, and we do have Laotian or Lao speakers also. We're split pretty 50-50 on male-female, and we do have a lot of working class families for occupations. Like I said earlier, we're at about 82% free and reduced lunch, so we are listed as an economically disadvantaged school for title. Race, we are at 43% Hispanic, 36% white, 5% African American, and 16% other. We have a pretty large ESOL program going on right now, and several bilingual paraeducators within our building that do a phenomenal job for our students. It's just we've seen more migrant workers, and it's played a big role within our families. I had my first experience with a family having a family member deported not that long ago after we had an ICE raid in town, and it definitely, it's something that is prevalent on the minds of some of our families, especially with the current climate on immigration. So it's something that's played a big role within our school, and that's something that we've had pretty frequent conversations about in our morning meetings. So our communication channels that we have within our school, we do text message services like Remind 101 within my classroom, within the staff, and sometimes within parents, not as much there. But we are getting started on that with parents, hopefully, and we have started using more email and text messaging services within the district in the last year. We have our school website, and we are finally on board with Twitter and Facebook, though we do have a few kinks to work out on that on privacy settings, so that I will be meeting with our tech people. That's kind of one of my fortes that we're going to be working with to see where we can bring in some more people and not leave behind our traditional media folks that we can try to get everybody pulled in all at once. So all information that we put out on any platform will always be in English and in Spanish. And then we do have people within the district that can translate in Laotian and a couple others. But they are usually not within the buildings. They are family members or people that we can call on that translate or make phone calls for us. So we do have a pretty good resource there. And we know our communities and the families and who we can call on to help us with those things. Most of our community gets their news from online, it seems like, or from TV news. I do know that social media is playing a big part on that right now. So Facebook seems to be a big place. Our families are very connected with each other in that aspect. So that's definitely something that we're trying to put more positive public relations out there through that media. Some of our community groups that we have right now, we have a very active PTA that has been very busy this year trying to create new programs for families, new after-school activities. We finally, for the first time, got to extend we call it Owl Academy, and as you can see my little owl in the corner, we are the Schilling Owls. We have Owl Academy as an extended day learning, and they got to raise money through some of our PTA, and they decided one of the big things they were going to do for us was to help pay for several extra weeks of teachers so that we could have extra after-school programs for some of our more at-risk students for math and reading. So we got 4 extra weeks. So that's 12 extra days with teachers and paras and all the staff that was here. So that's something that was really great, and they've been really big with our school this year. We've had more family engagement activities. We've bought books for all of the school, all the students and their families, and had family engagement night. We read The One and Only Ivan this year, and it was about painting and a gorilla in a mall, and our wonderful art teacher had an art night and bought canvas and paint, and we had over 250 people came and painted with their families and got to read more about the book and answer questions and do trivia night together. So we're trying to bring more people into our schools. We have a morale makers committee within staff so that we are trying to keep our teachers positive and trying to see what we can do to have a little fun within our school, because we know that happy teachers make for a very good environment. Our superintendent is working with community organizations to build new partnerships, and I had an amazing opportunity to sit down with Dr. Hardy in December. He is our interim and will be leaving us this summer, so we were going to miss him, but he has done a wonderful job working with Catholic Charities, other churches, food banks, other business opportunity people within our community that he has seen a need for us to work with community members. And we know that as a district, a lot of times it seems like we've kind of shut our doors, and we're afraid of getting judged almost. And so we're trying our best to fill some of those gaps for even just reading with students or being some of those morale makers within our building and giving community makers some buy-in into our schools, since they are the ones that pass their bond issues or send their kids to our schools. We're trying to bring them in. And I know we've got one school just started doing High Five Fridays, so shout out to Hughesner, one of our neighboring elementary schools that's bringing in the local JUCO that is bringing in soccer players. We've brought in bank members. They've brought in senior citizens, and they've all just come, and our kids get to give high fives every Friday and read with students in the mornings as they eat breakfast, and it's just been a positive thing for building our community. And we also have an equity council that has been created that has allowed us to see where we need to go within our district to make sure everyone is being treated equitable and that different groups are being represented and that people feel like they are being treated fairly. Our leadership right now, most of our biggest influences are our teachers in our building who've been there the longest, and our building leadership team. because they've been there the longest, they know more people, they know the family, so they kind of have that connection with people. And our building leadership is looking for positive changes that can be made. Our student support coach is something that's new this year, and he's been an amazing asset to our building. He was a 5th grade teacher. He's now helping other teachers think outside the box when dealing with students. And our principal is a good leader, but I think we have some really strong leaders even outside of him. Characteristics of a good leader, what I see is they're good at bringing others together and being able to listen and communicate, having a calming effect on situations, and just being interested in students, staff, family, and trying to work together. It's someone that you want to be a role model within your building, and even when they're not in your building, that's someone that you can look at and say that's what it should look like. And one big thing that I really want to be, and that I would like more, is I want to see the leader in myself and others to help others be able to shine and to be able to achieve their own goals. Not just you be able to have your moment, but also to help bring others along with you and give them a chance to do the same. The economic conditions right now, we are working to connect families to resources within the community. Like I said, we've got a lot of economically disadvantaged families, so we're working on, we created a children's fund this year for families that we can use during emergencies. We're implementing new programs that we're trying to create without putting new strain on teachers, budgets, and families. And we're working with the community to offer more opportunities, like I said, that extended learning day or other programs for the families. We try our best to give families as many opportunities as we can without straining the budget, basically. The political structure, I know as the time I was passing this, Senate Bill 16 had just been passed to provide more funding for Kansas schools. Yay! About $90 million more, so we'll kind of have to wait and see how that goes and where it goes. But I do know that politics is a necessary process in education because everyone has their difference in opinion, and it is a good forum to be able to have those discussions without bickering and be able to hear from each other in a mature manner, I guess I could say, hopefully. The social tensions we have, like I said, we have more physical aggression within our building. We've had a lot more mental health issues, and we've had more bullying behaviors. This is part of the reason we have our student support coach, in addition to our counselor and social workers, to help deal with some of these issues that are arising, because we do have students that are lashing out from home tensions and mental health issues and just a lot of trauma. A lot of our children have gone through a lot of trauma and that we're working through. So we've increased morning meetings and social emotional calming corners, de-escalation techniques, and those kind of things that we're working with. Extra sources of information, district-wide implementation of behavior tracking. We can now print off, in addition to academics, we can track behaviors that we can send within or outside of district. The report cards for our school is updated by the state every year and put on our website. We do have the school board minutes. We try to be pretty visible, though I would like to see more so. And our building leadership feedback, we are getting information from parents every year. Our power structures usually go from principal to district leaders. It does depend on the situation. Parents and families we try to keep within the building, and thankfully our principal kind of has our back, and we try to make sure that they come to the teachers before we escalate it to the next level, and then he'll meet with them and take it higher as needed. Multicultural issues. I'm running out of time, so I'm going as quick as I can. We have our SOAR motto for safety and ownership. We have our meetings to talk about things in a safe environment. And we make sure we celebrate diverse holidays, allow for freedom of expression. It is a pretty large school district, so we do make sure that we're meeting needs of all of our students. And finally, and last but not least, we try to send out a survey every year. and get to hear more from our families. Thank you for listening.